This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. St. Thomas farmer killed. A farmer was shot dead yesterday in St. Thomas. Stanford Wilson, 61, of Landui in the parish, was killed about 3 p.m. while at a bar in the community. It was reported that a man entered the establishment and shot Mr. Wilson in the head. The gunman fled in a car. Wilson died at the scene. There have been 5 killings in St. Thomas since the start of the year. Energy Ministry urged to relax the Petrojam's pricing formula. The Energy Ministry is being urged to relax the Petrojam's pricing formula to cushion consumers from the rising cost of oil. The call was made on Thursday during the Standing Finance Committee's examination of the ministry's budget for the 2022-2023 financial year. Opposition spokesman on energy, Philip Paulwell, argued that he believes adjustments can be made given projections for Petrojam to earn $2.4 billion in profit this year. He also noted that the formula has been tweaked in the past to shelter consumers. We clearly are in an emergency situation, and I remember in my time during the period of at least one hurricane, we had to suspend the pricing arrangement briefly to accommodate the emergency situation. Will the government be prepared to contemplate that now, as we have seen every week record price levels in this area much higher than the crisis of the 70s, the crisis of the 80s? Paulwell asked. Energy Minister Dr. Vaz noted that any such move would have to be approved by the cabinet given the fiscal implications. That obviously will be a matter that will have to be discussed at the cabinet and the Ministry of Finance consultation. Obviously, in any scenario like that, it will require a subsidy, and based on all that is happening, it wouldn't be something that we could just do without deeper consultation and review. But I'll take your suggestion on board, the Energy Minister stated. Prosecution in Wandon gang trial to call on police officers. The prosecution says it intends to call 3 police officers next week as part of its remaining evidence in the Wandon gang trial. They include an officer who arrested one of the defendants, who is known by the alias City Puss. The cop will be asked to identify City Puss in court and state whether one of the voices in a secret recording is the defendant. One of the other cops will be asked to rebut defense attorney Lyndell Wellesley's assertion earlier in the trial that a former Don turned a state witness had a case in the gun court. The 3rd officer will state whether the former Don should have been charged. 3 employees shot in gun attack at a St. Catherine business facility. 3 employees of a popular manufacturing business in Johnson Penn, St. Catherine, were shot during a gun attack at the premises on Friday morning. The attack took place at the company's premises. One of the senior managers of the business narrowly escaped injuries during the attack. News sources say one of the injured persons, a woman said to be in her 40s, has since succumbed to injuries received. Police are reporting that the incident occurred about 10:30. Information so far received is that the 4 were at work when a white station wagon motorcar drove up. A man with a firearm exited the vehicle and opened gunfire at the 4 employees. The senior manager ran, but the other employees received the gunshot wounds to various parts of their bodies. The gunman went back into the waiting motorcar, which drove away. The injured persons were taken to the hospital by the senior manager. They were admitted. Schoolgirl to return to court for stabbing classmate. A schoolgirl who was charged for stabbing another student during a fight at the Mushet High School in Trelawney will return to court later this month. The teen, who is charged with wounding with intent, had her case put off when she appeared in the family court with her parents recently. Head of the Trelawney Police Division, Superintendent Carlos Russell, told the news that the girl will reappear in court on March 17, 2022. The teen was charged after the injured girl was stabbed in the face and arm during the fight. Several videos of the fight, the injuries, and even the detention of the alleged stabber by the police were posted on social media. It is not known what caused the fight, but one of the video footage shows the two girls throwing punches and kicks. Some students looked on excitedly, cursing indecent language and cheering, while others tried to part the fight. When they finally parted, one of the girls had blood on her school clothes from several stabs she received from what seemed to be a pen. Another video showed the girl with the bleeding stab wounds standing alone as some students led her away, apparently to get treatment. In another footage, the student accused of doing the stabbing is seen being taken from a bus by the police, while in a picture, the student who was injured showed her sewed-up wounds. Man in custody over death of stepfather following attack on his mother. A man is in custody for the stabbing death of his stepfather during a domestic dispute in the farming community of Nonsuch in Portland on Thursday. Police sources have confirmed that the now deceased Antonio Hutchinson was involved in a dispute with his common-law partner when her son intervened. It is reported that about 11:55 p.m., Hutchinson, who reportedly came home drunk, attacked the woman with a knife in her sleep. She was reportedly stabbed in her stomach. It is alleged that the injured woman ran from her house screaming, which reportedly alerted her son, who lives next door. It is reported that the woman's son and Hutchinson became embroiled in a fight. According to eyewitnesses, the two were involved in a knife fight, which reportedly resulted in Hutchinson being stabbed multiple times. Residents said that Hutchinson, who was bleeding profusely, was rushed to the Port Antonio hospital by his stepson. Hutchinson was pronounced dead. The stepson was arrested while at the hospital. The injured woman has since been transferred to the Kingston Public Hospital in a critical state. This is the second murder to have occurred in Portland in less than 24 hours, following the chopping death of a man at Shoebury Thursday morning. 3 persons have been murdered in the Portland Police Division since the start of the year. Brothers charged for killing of Chinese couple and Westmoreland double murder remanded. The 2 brothers charged for the murder of a couple of Chinese heritage in St. Elizabeth and a businesswoman and her customer in Westmoreland were remanded in the Home Circuit Court this morning. Nigel Walters, alias Troy, and Nicholas Walters were ordered to return to court on June 2. When the matters were called up this morning, the court was told that the case files are incomplete. The accused were then remanded. The defendants are charged for the December 23, 2021 murder of business operators 53-year-old Shi Yong-shu and 48-year-old He Kong-won in Bellevue in St. Elizabeth. The couple was gunned down during a robbery at their supermarket. 3 gunmen were reportedly caught on a closed-circuit television system posing as customers in the supermarket before the killing. In the second incident, the brothers are charged for the deaths of 45-year-old businesswoman Sophia Brown and the 58-year-old farmer Bernie Lewis, both of Long Hill District, White House, Westmoreland. Brown was reportedly at her wholesale on January 11 when the brothers entered posing as customers. Brown and Lewis were reportedly assisting the men when they shot them. Suspected gangsters nabbed mom pleads for mentally ill detainee. A mother is concerned about the future of her mentally challenged son, who was among 25 men detained by the security forces during a pre-dawn joint anti-gang task force operation along Mountain View Avenue. But the police have claimed the success, saying Thursday's operation netted 2 suspected gang leaders who were primary targets. The news understands that one of the men, Richard Bob Higgins, was named on the police wanted list. Residents of Hildene, an area adjoining Jarrett Lane, reported waking up to banging on their doors and the interrogation by the security forces about 4 a.m. Paula Sr.'s 26-year-old son, whose name has been withheld, was reportedly taken from his bed and rounded up to be processed along with the others. "If me never ball out, me woulda drop down. Some come in at the yard and me just blood them up," she said, a colloquial term for the invocation of Jesus Christ. "Him can't even explain himself. You see up your son alright," she added, hinting at his intellectual disability. Senior says she hopes that her son's illness will not be triggered while in custody, as he is schizophrenic and may react adversely to forceful interaction. Him look normal. Him will start grumble by himself and you not trouble him. When him can't explain himself, him just get mad, Senior said. The mother of 4 said that some of the soldiers were aggressive and said that other members of her household were not disrespectful. The police said the major early morning operation targeted guns, gunmen, and gangs. Higgins was wanted for allegedly shooting with intent on October 15, 2020, along Wellington Street in Kingston 16. In a social media post on the constabulary's Instagram account, the police said Higgins was captured despite changing his identity and complexion several times. In January, the police named 88 wanted men across the 19 police divisions in Jamaica. At a press conference on Tuesday, the police said 17 of the listed individuals had been captured. 21 guns seized at a West Kingston warehouse. 21 guns have been seized during an operation at a warehouse in West Kingston, law enforcement sources have revealed. The cache comprises 18 pistols, 3 rifles, and a significant quantity of bullets, sources told the news. A whole heap of ammunition, one source insisted. Police investigators are still at the warehouse, located along Industrial Terrace, searching for more weapons. There is no indication so far where the weapons were shipped from and who were the intended recipients. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.